Well, hey Louise, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really lovely to have you here. I'm thinking there's a few people watching who probably don't know you very well. So maybe if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name's Louise. I'm not originally from Bangor. I grew up in a village called Ballyrobert, which is close to Ballyclare. I went to Ballyclare High School and then I went on to Queen's University and studied medicine there. And that's where I met Andrew. So we've now been married 15 years, a long time, crazy.
Well done.
And we have three children. So Lucy is 13, Hannah's 11, and Connor's 9. And I work locally in Bangor as a GP.
Okay, so you are a doctor as well as a mother of three children. Is that a hard balance?
Well, thankfully, I work part time and I have done since we had children. But I have to confess and say, being a mum is probably my favourite bit of the job. But yes, no, it can be really busy. When they were little, we had three children under the age of 4, which was really, really crazy busy. And Andrew used to work quite long hours at that stage. But I've always found church quite a good support, and I used to go along to W3 on a Thursday morning when I didn't work on a Thursday. And I can remember one of the sort of wiser women saying to me at the time, that everybody has seasons in their life, and God knows exactly what season we're in, and He knows how busy it is to be a mum of young children, and that that was a real comfort to me. And she said that really my children were my mission field when they were little, and I find that very comforting, very reassuring.
Yeah. So you mentioned there obviously that the church has been a big part of your life. When did you decide to become a Christian?
Well, I grew up in a Christian home, and I would say there wasn't one defining moment. I don't think. I think it was more a gradual process of becoming a Christian, to be honest with you. When I was at school, I probably would have been quite vocal about my Christianity. But then when I went to university, like many students, I have to confess, I did turn my back on God for a while. I decided to try and go my own way. And stopped going to church in first year of university and went out pubbing and clubbing a little bit. But to be honest with you, it just never felt right. It never felt like it was right for me, and it always felt like something was missing. So in second year of university, I gave up my part-time job on a Thursday night. I used to work in River Island on a Thursday night, and I gave that up. And I started going to Queen's CU on Thursday nights, and renewed my faith, and haven't really looked back since. But I have to be honest, it's not always easy. Sometimes I do feel like there's one step forward and one step backwards in my Christian life. But one thing I've learned is that no matter how unfaithful I am, God's always faithful. He's always there.
Yeah. And I'm sure He's taken you on a lot of journeys since then. Is there any time in particular where He really took you out of your comfort zone?
Yeah, there's one probably time that sticks out more than any. To be honest with you, I'm probably like most other people, that when things are very comfortable and things seem to be going well, we do tend to rely more on ourselves. And it's when you're faced with uncertainty that you do cling to God a little bit more. I think it must have been about 5 years ago, Andrew had to do what's called a fellowship, where he had to go away and work away for a year. So we made the decision to go as a family to New Zealand for a year. So while it was very exciting, it was also quite scary. So we were up in sticks from here, from everything we knew, to go out to New Zealand. We didn't know anybody, and we were going with the three children. So there was lots of prayer behind that. Lots of people were praying for us, and we had to find a new home, a new school, and everything, and it all just fell into place. It was all just a bit too convenient to not be God's hand in it. When we moved out there, we found a fully furnished house that was in a beautiful community, really close to the school, round the corner from a beach, and brilliant neighbours around us that looked out for us from day one. And we got to know really well. And we found a church as well. We started going to a church called Caversham Baptist, and we still keep in contact with people to this day. And very similar story coming home. Not long before we came home, we didn't know what was happening with jobs, or we didn't have school places coming home, and everything, with a lot of prayer, just fell back into place.
Yeah, brilliant. And of course, something that's taken us all out of our comfort zone the last few months in lockdown. How have you and your family found that?
Um, like most people, at the start of the pandemic, I was really quite anxious. So obviously I had the element of work where at the very start we were being bombarded with up-to-date information, public health releases, and it was just, you know, everything going on in the news, and it was just trying to keep up to speed with things changing every day. And then obviously the schools closed, and then that brought its own worry about how do you manage to work and homeschool your children, and childcare and all those sorts of elements. And it was probably quite overwhelming at the start, I have to be honest. But God knows exactly what's going on, and He does care for us. And Jesus talks a lot about that in the New Testament. He talks about worry and anxiety on more than just a few occasions, and reminds us that God does care for us. And a few verses that I wrote down actually that just remind me of that at the time were 1 Peter 5 verse 7, where it says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you." And then another one, Philippians 4 verses 6 and 7. "Do not be anxious about anything, but in prayer and supplication and with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds." And when I prayed to God and handed my worries over to Him, He did give me a peace, to be honest with you. So but it's I just have to remind myself every day to rely on these promises and to turn to them, because every day brings new worries if you let it. And I'm just every day trying to hand over to God what's going to happen next with schools reopening and things, like every other parent out there. So I just find that very comforting and very reassuring.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Louise. I think your words will have been really encouraging to a lot of people, to working mums, to those who have been feeling anxious, and even to students who've been wondering how to juggle their Christian life. So thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's been really lovely to have you.
Thank you.